Force over here, and welcome back to another watchable live stream. For this live stream, we are continuing with the four movie special marathon that I was going to try to do, but unfortunately I wasn't able to do it. But here we are right now. So, for those of you that don't remember the hints that I gave for the two movies, this was the very first animated special for not including the movies, by the way, but this was the first animation special for this comic strip. Um, Out of all the ones that have come out, this was the very first one, including the movies. And the second one was a cartoon adaptation that I've already watched, or at least tried to watch, but I ended up stopping that stream because I fell asleep in the middle of the movie, which I don't like doing when I'm doing a live reaction, because what's the point of doing a live reaction if you want to sleep through part way of it? Or at least I think I may have. Either way. The answer to the first one was A Charlie Brown Christmas. I grew up watching this special just as long as the rest of them. Well, not really the rest of them, because they did stop. I don't think they've ever, because they've only ever aired the Halloween, the Thanksgiving, and the Christmas special, but I don't think they ever aired the other ones. Do your family have a wonderful Christmas? Alright, let's see here. Hope you and your family have a wonderful Christmas and New Year. Thank you, Stephen. Hope you and your family have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And also said, if all goes to plan, I will try and get you a call. Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you. As I have mentioned before, I always love reading books, but here's the thing. There's only one type of book I don't really read, and that's romance novels. Not that I have a problem with romance, it's just that I don't like. If anybody likes romance, that's fine. But for me personally, unless there's like a sub genre, if there's like a second genre with it, I may or may not be interested, and we'll figure that out when I get to a book that I do actually enjoy, even with the romantic part of it. But yeah. Anyway, um, yeah, as far as the Christmas book readings, I'm probably going to read the same books that I read last year, but with the mic this time, as well as probably going to read Heartstopper Volume 3, which I just finished not too long ago, as a matter of fact, and I thought it was a really good volume for the story, and I look forward to reading Volume 4 when Pride Month comes along next year, because I like to give sequels and all that some time before I read them. Yeah. Thank you, my friend. I have to go now. Don't worry. I'm a horror science. Yep. Yep. And I look forward to it. But also have a good rest of your night. And Merry Christmas Eve to you. Because it is officially Christmas Eve on my end. It is 1:38. I want to try to get this done. So that way, because if I do, then I should have 8 more movies / Christmas specials left after this, so I can watch 4. If I ever miss it, I can I don't think people are going to have a problem with me trying to finish it up. Because, I mean, compared to the Halloween one where I was just not really following up with the schedule for the whole month of October, here I'm actually trying. So I think with the fact that I only have 8 left, I think some people would forgive me, would be willing to let me watch the rest of the movies that I have left to watch, at least before the new year starts. But we'll get to that when we get to that. For now, let's watch A Charlie Brown Christmas. If you want to watch this movie outside of DVDs, the only way I know you can watch it outside of those type of websites is Apple TV Plus, which I think is fucking stupid. Like, we've had that show aired, we've had these specials aired on ABC for so long that it's not even funny. But before we begin, I do want to point out something interesting about these cartoons. So, in the original version of these cartoons, this special was sponsored by Coca-Cola, and there were a few scenes that basically would show that, where it would transition into those sponsored, the sponsorships to let them know, by the way, this is sponsored by Coca-Cola. Now, of course, since Coca-Cola isn't really sponsoring them anymore, they have to cut those out. So, yeah, a little fun fact for that. By the way, let's begin with A Charlie Brown Christmas. Hold on a second. I'm pretty certain. Sorry, it's begin now with that. Sorry.
I think there must be something wrong with me, Linus. Christmas is coming, but I'm not happy. I don't feel the way I'm supposed to feel. I just don't understand Christmas, I guess. I like getting presents and sending Christmas cards and decorating trees and all that, but I'm still not happy. I always end up feeling depressed.
Charlie Brown, you're the only person I know who can take a wonderful season like Christmas and turn it into a problem. Maybe Lucy's right. Of all the Charlie Browns in the world, you're the Charlie Brownest.
What does that even mean? Out of all the Charlie Browns in the world, you're the Charlie Browniest. What does that mean? Alright. Wow. Snoopy's having a lot of fun getting all the kids together in this line of people, and some people are like, whoa! Ooh! Well, that's kind of hurt. Charlie Brown Christmas. Alright, so this part right here, this is one of those moments where they would have had Linus, so they would have had Linus they would have Linus let go of the blanket. Or, like, either Snoopy would let go of the blanket or Linus would. And that's when they delve into this Christmas special was sponsored by Coca-Cola. But again, because Coca-Cola is not being sponsored here, of course it's got to be cut out. Alright. So Charlie Brown goes back in the outside world of snow.
Hello in there. Rats. Nobody sent me a Christmas card today. I almost wish there weren't a holiday season. I know nobody likes me. Why do we have to have a holiday season to emphasize it? Thanks for the Christmas card you sent me, Violet.
I didn't send you a Christmas card, Charlie Brown.
Well, she just says that.
Don't you know sarcasm when you hear it?
You're asking a kid that.
Pigpen, you're the only person I know who can raise a cloud of dust in a snowstorm.
And there's Snoopy eating away on his bones. I'm gonna assume that somebody was eating something like chips or something to get that sound effect.
Try to catch snowflakes on your tongue. It's fun. Mmm, need sugar. It's too early. I never eat December snowflakes. I always wait until January.
Really?
You sure look right to me.
Hmm. So now they're just trying to randomly throw into a can. Linus, you want to show them how to do it? Damn! There you go. That's how you do it.
You think you're so smart with that blanket. What are you gonna do with it when you grow up? Maybe I'll make it into a sport coat.
Okay. Good on you, Linus. Hmm.
I think you have a customer.
Customer? Let's see here. The doctor is real
May
in.
I help you? I'm in sad shape. Wait a minute. Before you begin, I must ask that you pay in advance. 5 cents, please. Boy, what a sound! How I love hearing that old money plate. That beautiful sound of cold, hard cash. That beautiful, beautiful sound. Nickels, nickels, nickels. That beautiful sound of clinking nickels. All right now. What seems to be your trouble? I feel depressed. I know I should be happy, but I'm not. Well, as they say on TV, the mere fact that you realize you need help indicates that you are not too far gone. I think we better pinpoint your fears. If we can find out what you're afraid of, we can label it. Are you afraid of responsibility? If you are, then you have hypengiophobia. I don't think that's quite it. How about cats? If you're afraid of cats, you have ailurophasia. Well, sort.
You know, I always wonder what she was trying to say here because the mic quality is kind of iffy at best with the voice acting here with the kids, and they are actual kids voicing this voicing in this cartoon. But I didn't know what she meant when she was saying that. But now I know she's talking about cats. Okay.
Well, but I'm not sure. Are you afraid of staircases? If you are, then you have climacophobia. Maybe you have thalassophobia. This is fear of the ocean. Or chephorobia, which is the fear of crossing bridges. Or maybe you have pantophobia. Do you think you have pantophobia? What's pantophobia? The fear of everything. That's it!
Whoa, did you ever have to shout at her?
My trouble is Christmas. I just don't understand it. Instead of feeling happy, I feel sort of let down.
You need involvement. You need to get involved in some real Christmas project. How would you like to be the director of our Christmas play?
Me? You want me to be the director of the Christmas play?
Sure, Charlie Brown. We need a director. You need involvement. We've got a shepherd, musician, animal, everyone you need. We've even got a Christmas queen.
She says that smile on her face.
Don't worry, I'll be there to help you. I'll meet you at the auditorium. Incidentally, I know how you feel about all this Christmas business, getting depressed and all that. It happens to me every year. I never get what I really want. I always get a lot of stupid toys or a bicycle or clothes or something like that.
What is it you want?
Real estate.
I think my niece could relate to that because she has said under no uncertain terms she wants to save up money for a house. Under no uncertain terms, she has actually said that. She is no joke. My niece is literally the most stingiest person I know, and I have read A Christmas Carol. I think she is probably. I think Stooge has got some competition with my niece in that regard. Gee, I swear. Anyway, let's see what Snoopy's doing.
What's going on here?
Here you go.
with Christmas lights and display contest. Lights and display contest? Oh no! My own dog gone commercial. I can't stand it. Oh.
I've been looking for you, Big Brother. Will you please write a letter to Santa Claus for me?
So you notice how the voice sounds a little bit like they've been edited together? That's because Sally's voice act. Another fun fact. Sally's voice actress, who was the youngest out of all the kids, had a hard time saying all the words together. So what they did was where they would like have her say them little bit. So they would have the voice actress for this kid, for this young girl, uh, like say as much as she could, like like in bits and pieces, and then they would edit it together to make it sound like she's saying it in all one tape. Sometimes it's noticeable that she's saying it in multiple tapes, but other times not as much.
Well, I don't have much time. I'm supposed to get down to the school auditorium and direct a Christmas play.
You write it, and I'll tell you what I want to say.
Okay, shoot.
Dear Santa Claus,
I gotta say Sally's smile at the very end of it before we go to seeing her by herself over Charlie Brown being with her. That's actually a cute smile, let's be honest here.
did you have a nice summer? How was your wife? I have been extra good this year. So I have a long list of presents that I want.
Oh, brother.
Please note the size and color of each item, and send as many as possible. If it seems too complicated, make it easy on yourself. Just send money.
What?
How about 10s and 20s?
10s and 20s? Oh, even my baby sister.
All I want is what I have coming to me. All I want is my fair share.
Oh, Sally, just like a number of kids, they always want money. Sally's funny. Right there.
All right, quiet everybody. Our director will be here any minute and we'll start rehearsal.
Director? What director?
Charlie Brown! Oh no, we're doomed. This will be the worst Christmas play ever. Here he comes. Attention everyone. Here's our director.
Hey, Daniel Barry, how you doing tonight?
Man's best friend.
Merry Christmas Eve. It's not Christmas yet, but Merry Christmas Eve. Also, Snoopy, you should have your owner's back, man. Come on.
Well, it's real good seeing y'all here. As you know, we are going to put on a Christmas play. Due to the shortage of time, we'll get right down to it. One of the first things to ensure a good performance is strict attention to the director. I'll keep my directions simple. If I point to the right, it means focus, attention, stage right. If I make a slashing motion across my throat, it means cut the scene short. If I make a revolving motion with my hand, it means pick up the tempo. If I spread my hands apart, it means slow down. It's the spirit of the actors that counts. The interest that they show in their director. Am I right? I said, am I right?
And they're playing, they're playing what is essentially the Peanuts theme song, but it's titled Linus and Lucy. They're not paying any attention to him at all. Disrespectful kids. Disrespectful. How dare you? He's trying to be a good director and y'all are shunning him. How dare you? Some of these dancers are pretty cool though.
Music! All right now, we're going to do this play, and we're going to do it right. Lucy, get those costumes and the scripts and pass them out. Now the script girl will be handing out your parts.
You're the innkeeper's wife. Do innkeepers' wives have naturally curly hair? Be pinned through Snoopy, you'll have to be all the animals in our play. Can you be a sheep? How about a cow? How about a penguin? Yes, he's even a good penguin.
What the heck are you doing?
No. Listen, all of you. You've got to take direction. You've got to have discipline. You've got to have respect for your director.
And then Snoopy just smoking her.
Slug you. I've been kissed by a dog. I have dog germs. Get hot water. Get some disinfectant. Get some iodine. All right, Scripps girl. Continue with the scripts. Linus, you've got to get rid of that stupid blanket. And here, memorize these lines. I can't memorize these lines. This is ridiculous. Memorize it and be ready to recite when your cue comes. I can't memorize something like this so quickly. Why should I be put through such agony? If you want the reason why I should memorize this, I'll give you 5 good reasons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are good reasons.
Oh,
Christmas is not only getting too commercial, it's getting too dangerous.
yes it is.
And get rid of that stupid blanket. What's a Christmas shepherd gonna look like holding a stupid blanket like that? Well, this is one Christmas shepherd who's going to keep his trusty blanket with him. See? You wouldn't hit an innocent shepherd, would you?
Oh, she's got it. She's got
Okay,
it.
Mr. Director, the task is set. Take over. All right, let's have it quiet. Places, everybody. Schroeder, set the mood for the first scene.
All right.
Cut! No! Look, let's rehearse the scene at the end. Frida, this can't go on. There's too much dust. It's taking the curl out of my naturally curly hair. Don't think of it as dust. Think of it as maybe the soil of some great past civilization. Maybe the soil
Pigpen is looking at. You notice the smile of Pigpen. He's like, I like where this man is going with this. I like it.
It scatters the imagination. Maybe carrying soil that was trod upon by Solomon, or even Nebuchadnezzar. Sort of makes
Do you really think either one of those two kids know who you're talking about, Charlie Brown?
Respect doesn't. You're an absolute mess. Just look at yourself. On the contrary, I didn't think I'd look that good. Charlie, come here. What do you want her for? She's gonna be your wife.
Oh no.
Good grief. Isn't he the cutest thing? He has the nicest sense of humor. Lunch break! Lunch break! Lunch break!
Yeah. Your dog? You didn't forget about your dog, did you, Charlie Brown?
All right, now, there's no time for foolishness. We've got to get on with our play. That's right. What about my part?
What about your part?
What about the Christmas Queen, Are you going to let all this beauty go to waste? You do think I'm beautiful, don't you, Charlie Brown? You didn't answer me right away. You had to think about it first, didn't you? If you really had thought I was beautiful, you would have spoken right up. I know when I've been insulted.
Good grief. I know, right?
All right, let's
Good
take it
grief
from the top
indeed.
again. Places. Action. Charlie Brown, isn't it a great sleigh? That does it. Now look, if we're ever to get this play off the ground, we've got to have some cooperation. What's the matter, Charlie Brown? Don't you think it's great? It's all wrong. Look, Charlie, let's face it. We all know that Christmas is a big commercial racket. It's run by a big Eastern syndicate, you know. Well, this is one place.
Is it though? But yes, it is a commercial racket. It is one of the most profitable holidays of the year, alongside Halloween and Thanksgiving, Easter, Valentine's Day. That's probably it. That's probably it.
Hey, that's not going to be commercial.
Well, actually, no. Well, Mother's Day and Father's Day as well. But I think the five that I said before are probably the most profitable ones, and those two would probably be next on that list.
Look, Charlie Brown, what do you want?
The proper mood. We need a Christmas tree.
Hey, perhaps a tree. A great, big, shiny aluminum Christmas tree. That's it, Charlie Brown. You get the tree. I'll handle this crowd.
Okay. I'll take Linus with me. The rest of you practice your lines.
Wait, why did Linus all of a sudden get his jacket on? He didn't even know he was going to go with Charlie Brown.
Get the biggest aluminum tree you can find, Charlie Brown. Maybe paint it pink. Yeah, do something right for a change, Charlie Brown.
Wow. The disrespect.
I don't know, Linus. I just don't know. Well, I guess we better concentrate on finding a nice Christmas tree.
Yeah?
I suggest we try those searchlights, Charlie Brown.
Yeah, I think the area where they fade into this next scene, I think this was one of those other cutaway moments.
Yes.
There actually is a video. I don't know if it's still up, but there was a video that does look at the differences, like the differences between the Charlie Brown special of when it first premiered and nowadays. Yeah, I don't know if it's still up, but I do know that was a video that I did watch one time.
Billy brings Christmas clothes to a person.
Fantastic.
Yep. Hmm. Hmm.
Gee, do they still make wooden Christmas trees?
This little green one here seems to need a home.
I don't know, Charlie Brown. Remember what Lucy said? This doesn't seem to fit the modern spirit.
I don't care. We'll decorate it and it'll be just right for our party. Besides, I think it needs me.
That's shedding. Okay.
This is the music I selected for the Christmas play. What kind of Christmas music is that? Beethoven Christmas music. What has Beethoven got to do with the Christmas? Everyone talks about how great Beethoven was. Beethoven wasn't so great. What do you mean Beethoven wasn't so great? He never got his picture on bubblegum cards, did he? Have you ever seen his picture on a bubblegum card? Here? How can you say someone is great who's never had his picture on bubblegum cards?
Good grief. You don't need to have it be just because he's not on a bubblegum card doesn't mean that he's not great. He does have historical significance in classical music history. And Snoopy's just having a blast on this piano. And just looking around like, oh, okay, I'll leave. Sorry.
Hey, by the way, should you play Jingle Bell?
Okay.
I mean Jingle Bells. You know, deck them halls and all that stuff. No, you don't get it at all.
And Shorter's gonna be looking at her like, what do you want?
Jingle Bells. You know, Santa Claus and ho 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 and mistletoe and presents to pretty girls.
Wow.
supposed to get a good tree. Can't you even tell a good tree from a poor tree? I told you he'd goof it up. He's not the kind you can depend on to do anything right. You're hopeless, Charlie Brown. Completely hopeless. Rats. You've been dumb before, Charlie Brown, but this time you really did it. What a tree. I guess you were right, Linus. I shouldn't have picked this little tree. Everything I do turns into a disaster. I guess I really don't know what Christmas is all about. Isn't there anyone who knows what Christmas is all about? Sure, Charlie Brown. I can tell you what Christmas is all about.
Alright.
Lights, please. And there were in the same country shepherds, abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night, and lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them. The glory of the Lord shone round about them, and they were sore afraid. And the angel said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you. You shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host praising God, and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men. That's what Christmas is all about, Charlie Brown.
Oh, that seemed to have lightened his mood. What is Charlie Brown doing, I wonder?
For behold, I bring you tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you. Linus is right. I won't let all this commercialism ruin my Christmas. I'll take this little tree home and decorate it, and I'll show them it really will work in our play.
Look at that, now he's skipping. Maybe even running. Whoa.
First prize?
Wow. Snoopy.
Oh well, this commercial dog is not going to ruin my Christmas. I've killed it. Oh, everything I touch gets ruined.
Poor Charlie Brown.
I never thought it was such a bad little tree. It's not bad at all, really. Maybe it just needs a little love. Charlie Brown is a blockhead, but he did get a nice tree.
We all know this cartoon. It's a classic. I don't think I need to say anything about it. We all know about Charlie Brown Christmas. It is a classic in uh, Christmas specials. It is a classic. Easily one of the best and still holds up to this day. Now, I know what I said I was going to do with the fourth one. So, but I'm going to go ahead. I'm actually going to change it because it is Christmas Eve. I am going to change it to something else. Let me put this Christmas special for Charlie Brown back in the case. Hmm. Well, actually, you know what? You know what? What time is it right now? It's not 2 o'clock. Okay. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do something completely different. I'm gonna put on something that's on YouTube for this. Because it is easily, this next one is easily my favorite Christmas movie out of everything here. So, so, we're gonna watch The Homecoming. We're gonna go ahead and skip to the beginning before, like, after the whole CBS presents intro that they do. But yeah, I'm gonna skip that.
That changed their lives forever.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and watch The Homecoming, a Walton's A Christmas Story. This was the sequel to, this was actually a pilot for what would ultimately be for a show that would become The Waltons, which would come out a few years after this taking place. So yeah. I will say with the Waltons Christmas Story, The Homecoming, um, I very much still enjoy it to this day. While you could say there's not much Christmassy about it, and blah blah blah. I love this movie so much, so that's why we're watching it. I know what I said earlier about how we were going to watch something that was something that I watched before, but I fell asleep into it. But I wanted to watch this movie instead, so that's what we're doing. You can find this movie on YouTube. All you have to do is just search up The Homecoming, and there you go.
My grandfather used to say that nobody owns a mountain, but getting born and living and dying in its shadow, we loved Walton's Mountain and felt it was ours. The Walton family had endured in that part of the Blue Ridge for over 200 years, a short time in the memory of the mountain. Still, our roots had grown deep in its earth. When I was growing up there with my brothers and sisters, I was certain that no one on earth had quite so good a life. I was 15 and growing at an alarming rate. Each morning I woke, convinced I had added another inch to my height while I slept. I was trying hard to fill my father's shoes that winter. We were in the middle of the Depression, and the mill on which our village depended had closed. My father had found work in a town 50 miles away, and he could only be with us on weekends. On Christmas Eve, early in the afternoon, we had already started looking forward to his homecoming.
Hold on, girl. I tell you, I know what's the matter with you. You think it's springtime or something? Next last time you're gonna get out there and run up in the hill? See some kind of rabbit? Now move. Get up. Get up. I'm gonna give you some best hay you ever had in your life. Open the door. don't you play something Christmassy, Jason?
It's not Christmas yet.
Well, it's Christmas Eve.
When will it rain a Christmas, John Boy?
Tonight at midnight when Grandpa rings the church bell.
Grandpa says at midnight on Christmas Eve, cows get down on their knees and pray.
Do you believe that, John Boy?
Can that be a wonder?
I'm gonna find out. Gonna come up here tonight and keep watch. I'm coming with you, Mary Ellen.
Me too. Me three.
Yeah, now, you better ask your mama before you go prowling around the place at midnight. How'd you like to bump into Santa Claus?
I already asked Mom, and she thinks she thinks about it.
Well, I want you all to listen to me a minute. Try not to worry Mama today.
Something wrong, John Boy?
Well, she's got a lot on her mind.
What's what?
Well, Daddy promised he'd be home early today, and he's not here yet.
Daddy'll get here. You know he'll get here.
Well, sure he will. But first, he's got to pick up his paycheck, get it cashed, and take a bus to Charlottesville, and take another bus to Hickory Creek, and from there he's got to hitchhike 6 miles. It's going to take a while.
Sure.
Meanwhile, let's get this wood in the house so we'll have a nice warm fire when he gets here.
And so here we go where we have the kids nearly from youngest to oldest. Because you have from beginning to end, and you have Elizabeth, looks like Ben, let's see here. Well, no, that's Jim. So you have Elizabeth, Jim Bob, Ben, Mary Ellen, Aaron. You have them all grouped up, and because the older boys are still getting more firewood, you'll have Jason and then John Boy behind them. And that's the Walton family when it comes to the kids. Homecoming, the Christmas Story, starring Patricia Neal, Richard Thomas, Edgar Burton, and Ellen Corby, Dorothy Stiffley, Josephine Hutchinson, William Wyndham, and Cleveland Little as Hawthorne Dooley. Executive producer Lee Ridge. Producer Robert Jacks. Teleplay by Earl Hamner Jr. from his novel entitled The Homecoming. Directed by Fielder Cook. Mama on the house, who is played by Patricia Neal, is spinning some apples down in the basement. There's our Grandma Grandpa, played by Edgar Burton and Ellen Corby.
You'll come and eat before your soup gets cold. I'm hungry enough to eat a horse. If the depression gets any worse, you may have to.
It'll never come to that. Franklin D. Roosevelt's going to put this country on its feet again. You watch my words.
Now you hush for that disrespect. He's your president.
Get the cow in the barn, son. Storm's going to hit here any time now.
How'd you know that, Grandpa?
Well, I can feel it in my bones.
You pulling my leg, Grandpa?
No, ma'am. My bones feel one way for good weather, another way for bad.
How do you explain that?
It's a science, Mary Ellen, like anything else.
Long story short, he's been on this earth long enough to know what's going to happen soon.
What you asking Santa Claus
Apparently.
to bring you, Grandma?
I think I'd like a little canary bird. I can get you a wild one next spring, Grandma. I don't want anybody catching any wild things. Now you eat your soup. You want some more?
No, thank you.
Mama's got the Christmas spirit.
What's she doing down in the basement?
Went after apples. Decided to make her applesauce cake after all.
She told me she didn't have enough sugar.
She claims she's going to buy sugar.
It's her money.
Well, it wouldn't be Christmas without Libby's applesauce cake.
There's too much nutmeg in it for my taste. Who wants to see something pretty?
Alright, let's see it.
Christmas captain. I'd practically forgotten about it. Just dug it downstairs in the basement last fall. And would you look?
How can a plant know it's Christmas?
Maybe it feels in its bones like Grandpa.
I rooted this plant from one my mama used to have. It's 17 years old. I value it. Has it been that long? I planted it the same year John and I were married.
1916. I recollect.
Before the World War.
Why'd you marry Daddy, Mama?
Same reason anybody gets married, baby. Love.
How'd you know you loved him?
Oh, I just knew. Oh, he was a handsome thing in those days, wasn't he, Grandma? All my boys were handsome.
They took after their daddy.
Listen to the old man. My family didn't approve of me marrying your daddy. Did you all know that?
Oh.
What they have against daddy?
Well, my family were big Baptists, and your daddy, in those days, wasn't exactly religious. He was religious, he just wasn't a churchgoer. Anyway, when my family said we couldn't get married, your daddy and I sneaked off one night and went to see Baptist preacher. John said, "We're here to be married." And Preacher Hicks said, "Does your mama know about this?" And I said, "No, sir." And he said, "Well, then I can't marry you." I was scared to death, ready to run right straight home. But your daddy spoke up and said, "Mr. Hicks, you are not the only blankety blind preacher in the world. We'll get us another preacher." Mr. Hicks turned red as a beet, and then he said, "Under the circumstances, then, I will marry you." And so he did.
I've been flying to church.
That's
Oh, we
funny.
never had the time.
Mama, this morning there was a redbird in your crabapple tree.
Oh, I'd love to have seen it.
That redbird's gonna freeze tonight.
He won't freeze. The redbird has a knack of surviving winter. Otherwise, he would have headed south with the goldfinches and bluebird when the leaves started to turn.
I wish my daddy could fly. Elizabeth, if he could fly, then he wouldn't have to wait for the bus.
Daddy goes flying around in the air. Somebody's liable to think he's a turkey buzzard and shoot him down.
Don't you worry about your daddy. He'll be home. Who's gonna crack some walnuts for my applesauce cake? Well, while y'all doing that, I'll run to the store for some sugar.
I'll be glad to fix it for you, daughter.
Oh, no, thank you, Grandpa. I could use some fresh air, and maybe I'll meet John on the way.
Maybe.
Oh, what we need at the store is a traffic light.
Daughter, you sure you won't need help to carry the sugar and all the stuff for Christmas dinner?
Grandpa, if John doesn't get home soon, where's the money? All we're gonna have for Christmas dinner is my applesauce cake. And we won't even have that if I don't get a move on.
Well, then you better get a move on.
Well, don't get any shells in there. You'll bite into that applesauce cake and break a tooth.
I wrote a letter to Santa Claus. And from every Santa like a king spring. It won't do you a speck of good. How come? How are you gonna get it to him? He's clean up yonder at the North Pole. Luna's gonna get to the North Pole by tonight. I do, John Boy.
Yeah, you just give it to me, honey. I'll take it down to the post office and mail it special delivered.
I'm much obliged to you, John Boy.
What did you ask Santa Claus to bring you, honey?
One whole page of the Sears Robot catalog. A whole page of dolls.
Ben, I know what you want.
Train set.
What I thought.
What do you want, Jim Bob?
A teddy bear. Daddy said he'd speak to Santa Claus about it.
I've been thinking about writing him myself.
Well, what are you asking for, Jason?
Piano?
What is that for?
Everybody is so ignorant around here. What makes you say that? Believe me, Santa Claus, there's no such thing. It's just something Mom and Dad made up. I don't believe you. That's because you're ignorant.
Oh.
Son, you're gonna be sorry you did that.
Well, now you just want to make something of it?
Yeah, stand up and fight like a man. Liver belly bully.
I'm
Oh.
gonna say a bad word, Marion. That's why your mouth that was so.
Little old mealy mouth thing. I hope you get a bad cold and sneeze your eyeballs.
Oh.
Mary Ellen. I'm not gonna have anything to do with any of it.
Oh.
What's the matter with Mary Ellen?
Well, she's just crazy. Everybody goes crazy when they're 13.
The world is a big round ball. 8,000 miles. Smack through the middle. Walton's mountain is just a tiny speck on it.
Did you go crazy when you were 13, John Boy?
I didn't have time to. I was too busy looking after you children.
You ought to be the Angus like me.
Yeah, well, honey, I got stuck with being the oldest.
Nobody cares how I feel. You know how I you right this minute. Like if I had breathed in a whole lot of air, I'd just bust like a balloon. Kapow!
John Boy, is the depression gonna last forever?
Oh, Mr. Hoover says that prosperity is just around the corner.
Did Dad make that impression?
I know. It happened in New York City. Something they call Wall Street crashed. And they had to close the banks, and all of a sudden there wasn't any more money.
Yeah, that's generally what happened. I do have a book about U.S. history in this book pile. Not this book pile behind me. I mean, like, this book pile that's where you hear the remote. Yeah, I got a book pile right there. A little bit of one that's basically about the books that are coming up for me to read. But yeah, I have a U.S. history book in there that will, in some way, go into a bit of detail in the dispute is in as sort of way as possible. But still enough for people to know what really happened, like how it happened, and what happened as it happened during that time. Yeah. And everybody looking at him like, what?
I don't rightly understand it myself.
When I grow up, I want to marry a man rich enough to buy me diamonds. And if a depression comes along, we'll just move away from it.
When I grow up, I'm gonna marry a rich man and have lots of babies. I'm not gonna have any babies. What are you gonna have, Elizabeth? Puppies.
Hey, little girl, she won't be thinking of something like this, dude. Come on.
Well, why don't you just get on over here and do some work and you won't have to ask?
I've got no time to be out here cracking walnuts. I haven't learned my Bible pages yet. I'm gonna memorize the whole thing, cover to cover. Feel better? I always feel better after I have a cow.
Think they're so smart. I can have puppies if I want to.
It don't work like that.
You sure?
Yes.
When you grow up, you're gonna be a woman, and a woman has babies.
Want to know a secret?
I don't care.
What? I'm gonna stay little, not grow up.
How?
Whenever I start growing, I'm gonna squeeze myself and push it back in.
Like Daddy and that old yellow duck?
Sure.
When are you gonna start?
Start what?
Squeezing.
Whenever I feel like I'm growing.
You're growing?
Think so.
Where?
Here.
Did you catch it?
Sure.
Hey, Bob, Elizabeth, y'all come on to the house. Let's see if Daddy's come home.
Don't tell them a thing about it.
Won't do them any good if we did. They're already grown.
It's true. Yep. But she isn't the only one that's curious, that's a little bit about who has this kind of thought process about growing up, as we'll see later, as we will hear later.
Merry Christmas, Cloudy.
How are you boys and girls, Mrs. Walton?
Well, they're just fine. When y'all coming over to see us?
Maybe we'll come over tomorrow and see what Santa Claus brings to us.
Well, you're welcome to come, but Santa Claus isn't bringing much.
Have your boys and girls been bad?
No, but Santa Claus is poor this year. Just like everybody else.
Oh, Merry Christmas, Mr. Walton.
You too, Hawthorne. I never saw anything the way that child is growing.
Oh, I don't know what they're growing on. Son?
Preaching's a hard line of work, even in the best of times.
Daddy's got an extra job now.
How in the world you
Did
find...
you see how, if you're watching this with me, you can see how Hawthorne's face went from a smile on his face to a bit more serious, like, why'd you have to say that? Son, why'd you have to tell her? She really has no reason to know about any sort of second job that he's doing.
The extra work around here.
Well, to tell you the truth, Mrs. Walton, I'm working for the Baldwin ladies.
I'm surprised at you, Hawthorne.
Oh, now, Miss Walton, you know, a man has got to eat.
bootleg whiskey.
Well, they don't call it that. They call it Papa's recipe.
I don't care what they call it. It's still bootleg whiskey.
It should be duly noted that during this time of the Great Depression, there was a separate thing going on here during this time, and it was known as the Prohibition era. This was when, due to an amendment in the U.S. Constitution, and I don't know why they made this an amendment, because honestly, this really should have been a state-by-state case over the country as a whole. But either way, the amendment went that it basically prohibited the sale of alcoholic beverages. And so because of this, there was a big thing in regard to, as Mrs. Walton just said, this became, people would make what is basically bootleg whiskey. Basically, it was illegal whiskey. It was illegal, and so yeah, but people were able to make money off of it in some way, shape, or form. And it would be eventually repealed later under the 21st Amendment, if my history is serving me correctly.
Oh, no, I can't see a man starving himself to death, Mr. Walton.
Uh-huh. Cloudy, you come around. We'll be waiting for you.
Okay, Mrs. Walton?
Yeah, put some of that stuff in the back for the ladies now, son.
Yes, we'll take that. And 3 yards of muslin and 6 yards of that Atlanta silk.
Yeah. Be with you in a minute, man.
I do believe you're John Walton's wife.
Yes, ma'am.
Isn't that a stroke of luck, sister? John Walton's just the man we need to see.
Well, John's not home yet. We are expecting him in a minute.
When such a fix, only John Walton can save us. You think this is pretty, sister? Yes, I do. Well, I don't know. I really don't know.
What's the trouble, Miss Emily?
Oh, well, you know, after the judge died, you remember our papa,
Yeah.
we got so many calls for his recipe that we had to start making it again. His recipe was famous from one end of the state to the other. Of course, it was tried and true, been in the family for generations. The judge didn't leave us as much money as most people suspect. But he did leave us a recipe.
It provides for us in our old age.
I couldn't exist if I had to live on charity.
So we make the recipe.
Or did, till the catastrophe.
What catastrophe is that, Miss Emily?
Our machine is broken down. We think that the trouble is with the copper coil. You see, no, sister, it's in the burner. You see, we have to keep the ingredients at a regular temperature while they're cooking.
Emily, the trouble's in the coil. There's something stuck in there that won't let the recipe through.
At any rate, Miss Walton, we're terribly low on the recipe. We'd be mortified if someone came asking for it and we couldn't supply it.
Well, what did you want Johnson for?
John?
My John.
Oh. Sister, why did we want John Walton?
Sister.
We thought that
Hmm.
he might, examine the machine and repair it for us. Or prepare to pay whatever the job might call for.
Oh, I'll tell John when he comes home. It's been a real treat to see you, Mrs. Walton. Thank you.
How are all those dear children?
Fine, just fine. John Walton says a regular thoroughbred. Yes, ma'am.
I hope Santa Claus is good to everybody at your house.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Godfrey. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas, family.
Merry Christmas to you.
Come on now, yeah, this bag. It's kind of slippery, so be careful now. That's all. Buddy, open the door, boy.
And you could just hear the vehicle outside driving away.
Where's John, Olivia? I've been expecting him by to do his Christmas shopping.
Well, John's not home yet,
Well, he'll be along. John Walton would no more stay away from home on a Christmas Eve than fly to the moon.
Well, I know you'll get here if you can. It's just the 50 miles on slippery roads and then that long walk home from the bus. It's a lot of ground to cover. Well, I didn't mean to tell you my trouble, Zach. I've come for some sugar.
How much do you need?
Oh, I figure I can get by on about £2.
£2. What else can I get for you, Lydia?
I believe that'll do.
You have noticed I put in a line of toys this year.
Yeah. You
Nice
did.
Steven's done.
And your youngest, she just can't take her eyes off it. She can't come in here without picking it up, holding it, babying it.
It's hard to explain the depression to children.
Yeah, it's
Did
true.
you notice the price tag reads 89 cents?
And worth every cent. If the person is in the market for a dollar.
I can let you have it for what it costs me. I won't make a penny on it, but we can do it for Elizabeth. 65 cents.
Thank you just the same, man.
If it's a problem of cash right at the moment, I can let you have a little credit.
Don't put temptation in my way, You know, John and I never bought anything on credit in our lives.
Just thought I would make the offer.
And I appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you,
And you and John, Lydia.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Ah, there's the sheriff.
Sheriff Bridget,
Yes, ma'am.
you didn't happen to pass John Walton walking somewhere between here and Hickory Creek, did you?
No, ma'am. If I had, I'd sure give him a ride.
Well, how are the roads over that way? People getting through?
Well, as far as I can tell, Miss Walton.
Well, Merry Christmas.
Yes, ma'am. Merry Christmas to you. What do you say, Ike? Hey, Sheriff. Something I can do for you? You can give me about a nickel worth of crackers and about a dime's worth of this bologna. What you doing out this way? You looking for somebody? Maybe. Maybe. You wouldn't put a man in jail on Christmas Eve, now would you? Would if I could catch him. You would. You got a dime for it? To the ounce. Who is this man you're looking for? Where's there? Here. Robin Hood Bandit strikes again.
Ain't he something?
Many citizens of the outlying counties are enjoying Christmas
This year, due to the efforts of the man they call the Robin Hood Bandit. Each year, since 1929, needy people have found gifts of food and supplies at their back door.
Usually, the appearance of such gifts have coincided with the disappearance of such items from the shelves of local markets. This year, it is the J&B Produce Company whose supply room was emptied of its turkeys and ham.
Seems a shame to arrest a man like this.
He's just making a laughing stock of me in front of the whole county is what he's doing. I'm tired of it. I got me a mind to arrest him before the day is out.
And what are you doing looking out this way, Sheriff?
I got some clues.
Like what?
Here, Ike. You mind your business, and I'll mind mine. Strikes me funny that he never robbed you. Maybe you know who he is.
And now we see somebody with a back seat filled with turkey. Turkey and some other stuff it looks like.
She'll be driving 6 white turkeys. She'll be driving 6 white turkeys. She'll be driving 6 white turkeys.
Why don't you try to get that station in Pittsburgh?
Well, that is the station from Pittsburgh.
Well, I don't think you know how to work that radio.
Don't tell me I don't know how to work the radio.
Charlottesville
In New York,
station.
Mr. Lindbergh was welcomed on the steps of City Hall by Grover Whalen. Lucky Lindy, a former aerial mailman himself, has been in Europe surveying the possibility of airmail service between the old and the new world. He suggests that airmail service between Europe and America is practical and predicts that in the distant future, freight and even passengers might cross the Atlantic by airplane.
Cross the
Nurses
ocean.
at the Children's
Why,
Hospital.
I wouldn't fly from here to Rockfish in one of the things.
America's most beloved personalities, Babe Ruth and Will Rogers. As they toured the wards, Rogers joked with the children and performed some of the rope tricks he made famous on the stage of the Ziegfeld Follies. The great Bambino gave each of the children a baseball autographed by the entire Yankee team.
See anything of
In the
Johnny?
local scene, snow continues to hinder attempts to rescue two men trapped when a bus overturned on Route 29. The bus filled with passengers homeward bound for the holidays went off the road near Colesville. All passengers except for the two trapped men have been removed. No deaths have been reported, although many injured have been received in the University Hospital in Charlottesville. Over in Waynesboro, James Tucker announced that his store was about
Oh, I wish it was spring of the year again. Forsythia blooming by the fence and the crocus coming up through the snow.
Daughter, we don't know he was on that bus.
I'd just as soon the children not know about that accident. If there's bad news, you'll tell it when it comes. A telephone is what we need. It's the first thing I'm going to get when this depression is over. Has anybody seen John Boy? I heard him go up to his room. He closed the door and locked it again. What does that boy do up there? John Boy? Ma'am? What you doing up there, boy?
Nothing, Mama.
Then what's the door locked for?
Well, I reckon it just got locked.
A door don't get locked all by itself. You come on down. Grandpa, John usually likes to get the trees, but I think maybe you and John Boy better get us one this year.
I know where there's a real tree.
Mama, can I go with Grandpa and John Boy?
Cutting down trees is men's work. The girl's place is in the kitchen.
But I want to go.
I need you to help me make my applesauce cake.
Oh, let Erin help you. She's such a prissy butt. I am not a prissy butt.
Would you girls stop arguing and get busy? Go! What were you doing up there, behind locked doors?
Homework?
I don't see why you have to lock the door to do homework.
Sometimes I like a little privacy, Mom.
Come on, son. Let's go and get that Christmas tree.
Grandpa, you ever been away from Walton's Mountain?
Spent my adult life right here.
How did we come to get Walton's Mountain?
Well, it's all there in the family Bible. See, my granddaddy, he'd be your great-great-granddaddy. He come here in 1789 with nothing but an axe, a plow, a mule, and a rifle.
Well, I know where his old cabin stood. My daddy showed me the foundations one time.
You got pioneer stock in you. You can take pride in that. This is fought for land. battles right here? More than one. Flood, fire, freezing weather, diphtheria, scarlet fever, whooping cough, loneliness, hard times.
No, I thought you meant wars.
Them too.
Hey, Grandpa, we got something to show we own Walton's Mountain.
You can't own a mountain any more than you can own the ocean or a piece of the sky. You hold it in trust. You live on it, you take life from it. Once you're dead, you rest in it.
You know, I just soon not think about that part of it.
You're not ready for it yet.
Interesting analogy.
Never. There's your tree, boy.
See the daddy, Grandpa.
It's one I want to go for all the time of its life.
You sure know how to take them?
Alright, gonna pause right there real quick, take a little break. I'm getting a little bit tired, so I'm gonna go ahead and get me something to drink real quick. I'll be right back. Alright, let's go. Right. So, let's continue.
It's the last string.
Can we put decorations on now?
Oh, you can get rid.
Here's a red one.
I want to hang out. Send it to silver one. You can see your face in it.
I got a homemade one. I wanted to hang one at the top of the store.
Look what I found.
Now look what you've done.
No, baby, you hit my eye.
I did.
All right, everybody, now just calm down. Just hold it.
You watch your
Ooh.
temper.
Well, they're all grabbing at once.
You're the oldest. You make them mine.
Well, I am tired of being the oldest. I feel like an old mother duck.
Can't do a thing about that now. You're stuck with it.
They all look right up to him.
All right, next one of you that moves is going to get a spanking.
Won't be good, John boy.
You just let me get these on, and then you can take over. All right? And remember, keep your fingers crossed, because if one bulb has gone bad, then none of us going to live. You want some help, John Boy? Now you can come on, Jason.
What you getting there, Mary Ellen? Bird's nest, Alright.
What's that? It's a blue jay. Still got an egg in it. You can't put that thing on the tree. It's full of mites. It'll run. They can smell that.
The egg is not rotten. I blew all the stuff out of it. Inside it's clean as a whistle.
Look at it. It's still got bird poop on it.
What nasty thing like that on the Christmas tree?
I do. It's not near.
You're such a crazy John boy. John boy,
Now, the person playing is Charlie Sneed. I don't know how many shows and movies he's been in, but I do recognize him because he made a guest appearance on the episode of Star Trek, the original series of Star Trek. I think it was the episode where you had that planet destroyer thing, and his character ends up dying in that episode. Yeah, I can't remember the name of the episode where that planet destroyer in the original series shows up. I don't remember that, but I do know of the episode itself.
Oh, ain't that rascal home yet?
Well, mighty worried, Charlie.
Well, I don't blame you.
Charlie, would you like a cup of coffee or something?
No, I can't stay but a minute, Olivia. But I did know that John wouldn't have a chance to do much hunting this Christmas, so I thought he'd appreciate a little meat on the table.
Oh, Charlie. I don't have to thank you.
You don't have to say nothing to me, Olivia.
This is the answer to my prayer. Fine bird, all right. Where'd he come from?
Oh, I shot him up on Wales Mountain.
Don't appear to be no wild turkey to me. Never saw a wild turkey this big. What kind of shot you use?
Didn't. Got him clean through the head with a single bullet.
A sitting still bird? You shot a sitting still bird?
Got 36 paces, Mrs. Walton.
Clean off the limb of the dead
chestnut.
I declare, I think I'll cook him tonight. Sure looks like a store-bought turkey to me. Oh, won't John be surprised when
It's actually very accurate.
and finds a Christmas turkey roasted in the oven.
Well, look here, I got some more stops to make before the night's over, so I'll just wish y'all a Merry Christmas.
Oh, Charlie, stay and have some of my applesauce cake. We'll slice one warm from the oven.
I can't live in, but I'm much obliged to you. Why don't I, stop in more and spend a little bit of time with John?
You do that now.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, Charlie.
Hey, Mama, where you reckon Charlie got that from?
Get right, John boy. Milk the cow.
And that's what he's about to do for this next scene. And here comes Mary Ellen. Dude, look at all that wood though, jeez.
Is that the most disgusting thing anybody ever did?
You know any other way to get the milk out?
Daddy said it would be a lot easier if you could just screw off the tail and dip it out with a gourd.
Hmm.
Did you ever have a date?
Oh, sure.
I mean a real date.
Maybe I've had real dates.
Remember that time after prayer meeting when you walked home with Gwen Foster?
Yeah?
What'd you do?
We just walked.
What else?
Nothing else.
Did you kiss her?
Tried to.
Why didn't you?
Her daddy come out on the porch.
Yeah, that's what it'd be like.
Have you kissed many girls?
Hmm?
Well, I've kissed a few.
On the lips?
Well, sure.
What was it like?
It's right nice.
I don't think I've got long to live.
Oh, Mary Ellen, will you quit?
Well, I just feel like any minute now I'm just gonna explode. By the time I'm 14, they'll wrap me a bitch and hide me in the attic.
And you better calm yourself down, girl.
I am calm. I will be calm. I am a calm person.
You've got the growing pains.
Anyway, stop.
Well, on the morning you're gonna wake up and they'll all be gone. And I expect you'll be a right pretty girl.
What good's a pretty face with a figure like this?
Girl, you are very pretty. So you are very pretty right there.
Girl.
So I don't know what you're talking about.
Your bosoms?
Yeah, probably not the best thing to say, John Boy, but okay, whatever.
You know, one day you might even grow up to be as pretty as your mom.
Hey, where'd she go?
Spill his milk all over the building.
Okay, now, where'd I go?
Give me that picture about Kenny and Larry and Buddy and...
Back in the house.
Hi, I'm very busy right now.
Me and Kenny and Buddy and Ratty and Sammy have decided to sing our Christmas.
Sorry about that. Yeah, that was a family member. Didn't have enough time to mute before they said something, but whatever. It happens.
Mama, do you think I'm pretty?
No. I think you're beautiful.
Thanks, Mama.
You're welcome, Mario.
Where's everybody?
They're listening to the radio.
Hmm.
Okay then, so long, Miss McGee. Hey, kids, not Daddy said.
My back shoveling snow. Why don't you let the children sing for you and get it over with, McGee? You ought to sit down and rest a while anyhow. You know why I don't let them sing for me, Mom.
Churning in the living room? I just won't listen to Fibber and Molly like everybody else.
I get old mushy. Start forgiving everybody for everything they ever done to me. Oh. What is it, McGee? Did you find the key ring? I don't know. There's something here, all right. Throw it to the sidewalk. Ow! What was it? Oh, my overshoe.
Hey, Mrs. Walton.
My goodness, Claudie.
Where are you boys and girls?
They're in the living room. What brings you out on such a cold, cold night?
I got a surprise for you boys and girls.
Down the back. The big window knocked over the floor lamp. Put your foot in the door. Look who's here.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Wally.
Claudie says he's got a surprise. Hello.
They got a missionary box down at the store. Someone showed up with presents. Says she's gonna start handing out presents just as soon as they get a crowd.
Hey, let's go. Wait a minute.
Oh, poor Grandpa.
We do not accept charity in this house.
He took that turkey from Charlie Sneed.
Yeah, he did.
That's enough out of you, John Boy.
And she doesn't like the fact that he said that.
I can't see anything wrong with him getting a toy, an apple, or candy bar.
Mama, can we go down there and just watch?
What fun would that be?
It would be something to do. Can't we go as long as we don't take anything?
Mama, let's just watch and see if the others get, please.
Let him go, Libby.
Well, oh, maybe it wouldn't do any harm just to go and watch.
Hmm.
Don't you all stay down there, Ben, button up you go.
Alright. So, that would be the time for, this is the second of, I believe, four commercial break transitions. So let's take a little break. Alright. Just wanted to take a bit of a quick drink, so let's get started.
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas, children! How lovely of you to come!
And let me just say for the record, I have always watched this movie, and my father has watched this movie a number of times. This is his least favorite part of the movie. I want you to listen to this woman. I want you to listen to everything that she says before they do the presents giving. Just listen.
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas, children! How lovely of you to come! I thought I'd never make it. I've never seen this little
So basically what she's saying is, so what she's basically saying, if you listen to her words very carefully, what she said is that she took it that they basically, uh, she's basically calling kids under different circumstances savages because of how these people feel like they would handle the toys. Compared to limited amount to people like these on Christmas Eve.
We shall begin with a
Something
song.
to that effect.
Who knows a good song? Who in the major? Splendid! How would you like to start? Wonderful. Third verse. That was lovely, children. Now, as everybody knows, Christmas is Jesus' birthday. And since the Bible is Jesus' book, I want everybody who comes up here for a present to have a Bible quote to tell me.
To me or not to me?
That's not the Bible, that's Shakespeare.
Anybody here know one? What is man that thou art mindful of him? Thanks, very young. What is man that thou art mindful of him?
What is man that thou art mindful of him? That is a good quote and a good question. Do you know what it means? Does anyone?
It means he's so big and we such tiny little old things. Why does he mess around with us?
Indeed, yes. Splendid. Come on, someone else.
Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands.
Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands.
Oh, what a pleasure you must be to your Sunday school teacher.
Got another one? What is man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Too hard to remember. Jesus wept.
Jesus wept.
Lord love you, child.
Got another one?
Thy two breasts are like two young roes that are twins which feed among the lilies. Shh. Solomon's Song, chapter 4, verse 5.
Thy two breasts are like two young roes that are twins which feed among the lilies. Solomon's Song, chapter 4, verse 5.
Thank you.
Now, I have one for a little girl. How about you, dear?
Cast out your pearls before swine.
Cast my chips first before wine.
Come on. It's perfect for you. It's perfect for you.
What's Daddy gonna say?
We won't tell him.
He'll find out.
Well, we'll just make Elizabeth hide it.
Alright.
What'd you get, honey?
I think it's a dog.
Alright, let's see what you got.
It's dead. Somebody killed it.
Now, maybe we can fix it.
Not in a million years.
You know, they could fix it up, they just need glue. But still, that doll is broken to a good degree, so yeah.
O'clock and Daddy's still not home. Mama's real worried and the rest of us are too. On top of everything else, we went down to the store and a lady was giving away presents. Elizabeth got a broken doll and it scared her. Nobody ever gave away anything worth keeping. I guess. I've been thinking about myself and wondering what's wrong with me. I just can't seem to stop growing.
See?
Well, Mama says it's natural, but I'm scared if I keep getting taller, I'll be a freak or something.
I did say somebody was feeling insecure about their growth still going on. Mary, Elizabeth wasn't the only one. John Boy was another one doing it.
I wish I could see a doctor about it.
At least now we know.
The city are deserted at this hour, as Christians begin the observance of this holiest of holidays in their church at home. Church attendance is lower in the valley than had been expected.
I thought John Boy was in here.
Blizzard-like snow.
He went upstairs.
The storm arrived.
Maybe I think he's keeping some kind of secrets up
Snow
there.
plows are on the high.
Lord knows he worries me to death. Every time I want to see him, he's up there with the door locked.
Stranded travelers are being given food and lodging by local churches and the Red Cross. One death has been reported from the bus accident near Colesville. Names of the injured are being withheld until next of kin are notified. The Merchants' Christmas parade was interrupted briefly due to a fire at the Hamilton Cook Hardware Company. The blaze was brought under control quickly, and the parade continued to the corner of 2nd and Main.
There's nothing we can do but sit and wait.
Can't sit and wait one more minute.
President Roosevelt and his family have gathered for the traditional Christmas Eve dinner. Later this evening, the president will
John Boy? John Boy?
Mama? Second, Mama.
Unlock this door.
Yeah, she's not happy about that, buddy. Parents don't like it when they're locked out of their kids' bedrooms. Because then they're going to think you're hiding something.
Are you smoking cigarettes up here?
Oh, ma'am.
Then what are you doing?
Nothing, Mama.
Then what's the door locked for?
I reckon I just locked it without thinking.
Alright.
Are you hiding something in that bed, John Boy?
Yeah, that's kind of noticeable. Really.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to know what you're hiding.
A tablet?
Why in the world would anybody want to hide a tablet?
Mama, you know, I have a right to some kind of privacy in this house.
Just don't understand you, John Boy. Hiding things under a mattress. Is it something you're ashamed of?
Oh, no, ma'am.
Then why are you hiding?
That's a very good question. You can't argue with that.
What's in the tablet, Mama? All my secret thoughts. How I feel and what I think about. And what it's like late at night to hear a whippoorwill call and hear its mate call back. The rumbling of the midnight train crossing the trestle at Rockfish, or just watching the water go behind the creek and knowing someday it'll reach the ocean. Wondering if I'll ever see an ocean and what a wonder that would be. You know, Mama, Mom, sometimes I hike on over to the highway and I just sit and watch the buses go by and the people in them. And I'm wondering what they're like and what they say to each other and where they're bound for. Things stay in my mind, Mama. I can't forget anything. And it all gets bottled up in here, and sometimes I feel like a crazy man. I can't rest or sleep or anything till I just rush off up here and write it down in that tablet. And sometimes I think I really am crazy.
I do.
Things have been different, Mom. Like I could have done something with my life.
Oh, you will, John. You've got a promising future.
But I would have liked, Mama. To have tried to be a writer.
That's what you want. Couldn't you still try?
Oh, no, not in these times. You know, it takes a college education to be a writer. And anyway, even if we did have money, it would be right to risk it all on me. Anyway, I couldn't disappoint my daddy. You know he's got his heart set on my taking up a trade.
He just wants you to know how to make a living.
Well, I could sure never do that, scribbling things down in a tablet.
We'll talk about this some more, but... yeah. Right now, we've got something else to talk about. There's not going to be any more buses tonight.
Daddy won't get home, will he?
Not unless somebody goes after him.
Well, I can't get very far on foot, but I'll do the best I can.
You go see if you can find Charlie Sneed.
Okay. Maybe he's still down at the store. His car's down there a while ago.
You ask Charlie to drive you over to Charlottesville. That old car of his can get through where a bus never would. Here's $1 to pay for the gas. If you don't see anything of your daddy along the way, then you go to the bus station. If he's not there, try the hospital.
Oh, he wouldn't be in any hospital.
Son, a bus went off the road earlier today. There's one man dead and some others hurt. I didn't want to burden you with, but now I think you've got to know.
I guess I better get moving.
Yeah, you better unwrap this now. It was going to be under the tree in the morning, but I think you need it now.
Much obliged to you, Mama.
I knitted a set for each of you. It's all the Santa Claus is going to be this year. Can't get over I told you again.
Me either.
It's a man's job I'm sending you on. Don't let me down.
I won't.
Have a good night.
Where are you going, son?
Find my daddy.
And there we go. Actually, no, then there's So about an hour away. We only got about half an hour almost till this is over. So, we'll go ahead and take a quick restroom break. I'll be right back. Alright, let's go on over and see what's going on over at Ike's store.
Hi, Charlie. Hi, Ike.
Hey, John boy.
Hey, what happened, Charlie?
Did you ever see such a messed up situation your whole life, son?
Well, what you got your handcuffed for?
Well, it's all a mistake. I come by to have a soda pop with Ike here. The first thing I know, the law comes stomping in and slaps these cuffs on me like I was Al Capone.
I tried to get word to you.
Well, Al Capone was a well-known criminal during that time. Short time before 1933. But yeah, he was a notorious criminal during the Prohibition era.
Been hanging around here since the middle of the day.
Well, how was I to know that? I didn't see no sheriff's car.
He outsmarted you, Charlie. He parked out and back.
He's got the wrong man, Ike. You know that.
I wish I did.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, all them hams and turkeys and canned goods you got out in the back of your car. Well, half of them still has the name of the store they come from marked on them.
I found all that stuff, Ike. It must have just, slipped off somebody's truck. That's right, son. I swear, I found every bit of that stuff.
Mm-hmm. You found them all right. You found them in the storage room of the J&B Produce Company after you busted in there last night.
I was right here where I am now last night. Ike, you tell him.
It's a fact, Sheriff. Charlie was right here up to closing time.
Uh-huh.
And right after closing time, you hightailed it over to the J&B Produce Company.
Sheriff, why don't you just wait until after Christmas to lock him up? Now, Charlie is a man of his word. He won't run out on you.
Uh-huh.
You double dog right, he won't. He's going to jail.
Yeah, Sheriff ain't taking no chances.
Ain't no time to lock a man
I don't blame him, but still.
Well, I could catch pneumonia and die for a morning. You want that on your conscience that I caught pneumonia and died on Christmas Day?
You should have given that some thought while you was lifting them turkeys in the hand.
Oh.
Come on, Ike, I'll say.
Hey, bro.
John, boy, you run on home and tell your daddy to fix something, will you?
That ain't home yet.
Something is really wrong. If John ain't got into now.
Yeah, no, Mama sent me down here hoping you'd take me over to Charlottesville, see if we could find him. She can give me $1 for the gas. you take him and drive that boy on over 10 million?
Oh, Charlie, you know I can't do that until the law finishes its working.
John Boy, you know how to drive? Oh, well, Daddy used to let me drive that old DeSoto he used to have. Well, that's good enough here. Keys right in my pocket. Go ahead and take it.
Charlie, you can't let this boy drive halfway across the county with a carload full of stolen goods.
You leave that up to the boy. If he wants to take the chance, the car's his. Appreciate it, Charlie.
Now, John Boy forgot to get the gas with that $1 bill. And I would assume, even during those times, gas technically for that time was not cheap at all. I don't know how much it was, and I'm not going to take any wild guesses to how much it cost during that time, but I'm pretty sure it was going to cost at most 50 cents a gallon, depending on where you were at. Well, maybe not that high, but still. But still just high enough to where, you know, they would have to pay a good amount of money for gas. But anyway, yeah, John Boy forgot to do that, but whatever.
Mike, you got any Christmas cheer in this place, huh?
Well, I got a little of Miss Emily's and Miss Mandy's recipe for snake bite.
Don't get that lady got me just now. Look at that.
Okay then. So now John Boy is going to have this internal battle in his head, this internal struggle.
Remember that bird story, Daddy, when you were a boy?
The old yellow duck?
That old yellow duck.
Had me this old yellow duck when I was 6. Just a baby. Wanted to keep him little, so every day I'd squeeze him to keep him from growing. One day I squeezed too hard and he died. Like anything, he'll die unless it grows.
You remember when I'd bring you lunch to the shop and sit and listen to you and the other men talk?
You've taken care of things?
Yes, sir, Daddy.
Man ought to learn a trade.
I remember.
The night you were born, I wanted to wake the world to come
My name is John Boy Walker.
All my babies are thoroughbred.
When I was little, I used to sit way over in the field and pretend
John
to
Boy?
sail on an ocean.
John Boy?
So, the reason why John Boy is having this internal struggle is because he doesn't know how his father is going to react with him wanting to be a writer instead of choosing to be like his father in certain ways.
Dusk would fall and he would call me.
John Boy,
Here, Daddy.
come home.
I want to be like you, Daddy. I'm trying.
You're doing fine, John Boy.
I try to hunt, and I hate hunting. I'll go hunting with you if that's what you want.
Here he comes now. Now don't get bucked in.
I
Aim
can't.
right behind the shoulders.
Now I can't.
Now.
I
Now.
can't.
Aim for the heart.
I can't.
Now.
I want to be like you.
You're doing fine, son.
I'm trying.
You'll find your own way, son. Mine's
I'm
mine.
trying.
John Boy.
Trying, Daddy. I'm trying.
John Boy.
Uh-oh. Out of gas. Hmm.
Have a good service here. The children have been working on something. Marty, I want you to pull that curtain on back, and we're all going to come over to the town of Bethlehem, and we're going to see what these children have worked out for us today. And let's really support them, all right? Let's all start. And it came to pass, well, in those days, that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And all went to be taxed, every one into his own city. And Joseph went on, go up from Galilee, out of the city of Nazareth into Judea, unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, to be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife, being a great child. And so it was that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. And she brought forth her firstborn son and wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger because there was no room for them in the inn. There were the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. Come on in, Johnny boy. Come right on in. Bring the shepherd on in. Bring the sheep on in. That's it, boy. That's it. That's it. Bring them. Come on over here. That's it. Come on, get you. You know, it takes a little time, but the Lord's going to be with us. Yeah, the Lord. Hallelujah. Amen. And lo, the angel of the Lord. I said the angel of the Lord came upon them. And the word of the Lord shone around them. They were so afraid. And the angel said unto them,
Fear not, for behold, I bring you tidings of the great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which Christ the Lord.
yeah.
Hey Mary, what you gonna name that pretty little baby? Some call him one thing, I think I'll call him Jesus. Hey Mary, what you gonna call that little bitty baby? Some call him one thing, I think I'll call him Emmanuel. Hey Mary, what you gonna name that pretty little baby? Some call him one thing, I think I'll call him Savior.
Hey, let's give children an amen. There's no trouble there, but we got through it. Let's all bow our heads in prayer. Oh, most gracious Father, we thank thee for this cold evening and the warm hearts that are here in church tonight. We ask thee, oh Lord, to help us to be worthy of this marvelous Savior. We ask this in your name, sir. Amen. 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 Let's give the children a big hand.
Ooh.
Somebody knocking at the door back there. Merry Christmas.
Hey! Santa Claus!
Merry Christmas to you, sir.
Merry Christmas, Johnny boy. Now, come you out here so late this time of night, huh?
Well, I was out in Charlie Sneed's car looking for my daddy, and I ran out of gas. I was wondering if you knew where I could find some.
No, but I can give you a ride over to Ike's store, but I'm afraid it's closed by now.
You've got one.
Well, he just left him there.
Okay.
Oh, I think you best sit.
You know that kid tricking Santa Claus into giving him two? My nephew probably would do something like that if it was in those times.
Bottle of gas from them. Right?
I reckon that's worth a try.
And if there ain't nobody there, well, then we'll just burn a little of the recipe. Let me take care of the kids and send them on home, and then we'll be on our way, all right? Lonnie, Henry, Mike, y'all can come on home now. I gotta take care of business.
Alright. Mr. B, our second to last transition. We're about an hour and 10 minutes, so we're about another 30 minutes, but yeah.
Did it ever occur to you, sister, that if I'd married Ashley Longworth, you would be carrying on the Christmas tradition all alone? Amy?
She just walked away without saying a word. Well, she said a word, but Emily didn't even hear her.
Amy! You missed every word I've said.
Well, that's okay. You missed every word she just said.
Well, just because you're gone,
Balance
so
it out,
nothing
didn't
to
it,
carry on
you
the
know?
conversation, is there?
Right.
Do you remember that Christmas? Our Papa had all the cousins from Buckingham County here, and the house caught fire.
It's Hawthorne duty, Miss Mamie.
Oh, how nice of you to call. Who else is out there?
John Ball Walton, Miss Mamie.
Oh, come in. Come in. We called the fire engines out. They didn't get here for ages, and Pop had to go out and his night shift. Oh, I shouldn't have mentioned that. Came back in the house, and everybody started drinking the recipe and having a fine time. How near were I have? Two Christmas travelers. I know you. Do I know you?
John Boy Walton, Miss Emily.
Mercy. You're nearly as big as your daddy.
Yes, ma'am.
And, Hawthorne?
Evening, Miss Emily.
You all, together?
Oh, that's just about the size of it, Miss Emily.
Well, isn't this a treat, sister? Company on Christmas Eve. My sister and I were just having our Christmas joy. Come on in by the fire and enjoy it with us.
I got no time for Christmas joy. I thought we'd come here to get some gas.
You gonna get it, boy. But you don't rush these ladies.
What? You're crazy.
And you just play crazy, too.
Take seats. Take seats.
Well, why? We can't stay, Miss Emily.
But you only just got here.
Hmm.
Well. Isn't this jolly?
Is that the judge?
Yes, indeed. These are the judge's quarters. Spent the last 8 years of his life in these rooms, reading his law books and drinking the recipe, and entertaining his friends. Sister, those stories simply are not true. There were no ladies, only gentlemen. Except for Miss Flossie and Miss May. Cousins, sister. Cousins. Papa always called them cousins. Well, they certainly dropped out of the family after Papa died.
Oh, the judge certainly was a gadabout.
Wasn't he ever? Sister, why some nights he'd just vanish and never volunteer to tell either of us where he'd been.
Well, didn't he ever tell you where he went on those nights?
Sometimes I suspected it was something we had no right to know.
Oh. Well, now, I'll tell you. He used to come and visit my papa, the judge.
And Mamie looks at him like, wait, what? Your papa? What?
He'd show up in the evening with a whole gallon jug of the recipe. And then he and Papa would sit, and they'd sip, and they'd sip. Then long about 10 o'clock, one of them would start to singing, and then the other one would join in.
When the roll is called up yonder, I wager.
Oh, yeah, that was one of their favorites. Yes, it was. And they'd keep on singing until they couldn't stand up. Mama, she'd put them to bed, and they'd just keep on singing until they fell asleep.
He knew that hymnal from front to finish.
I have got to go.
What's that?
Oh, nothing, Miss Emily. You have got to stay.
You gentlemen must be frozen to death. Take off those wet boots and let them dry by the fire while we visit.
Well, we really can't stay, Miss Emily. See,
Nonsense. Now take off your shoes and those damn socks, too, before you both come down with lungs. There's going to be socks hanging by our fireplace again. What's Santa Claus going to say when he sees that? Sister, you're such a ninny, believing in Santa Claus at your age. Why, do I do? Just because he doesn't pay us a call anymore is no reason to stop believing.
Interesting way to look at it.
Do you remember Ashley Longworth?
Yes, I have heard of him, Miss Emily.
held too high of an opinion of it.
Oh. I sometimes wonder whatever happened to Ashley Longworth.
Papa chased him off is what happened.
My, wasn't he the handsome thing, Mamie?
Knew it, too.
Anything that handsome had to know it. I always remember my 25th birthday, October 19th. Ashley was here, as usual, and he asked me to go for a walk with him. The woods were afire with color, and as we stood under a maple tree, a shower of golden leaves fell. There was a regular whirlwind of them. And in that whirlwind of golden leaves, Ashley Longworth kissed me. Ashley left that evening. I heard from him once. Farewell letter, you might call it. Then nothing. I think of him often, but as the years have gone by and still no word of him comes, I've decided he must have died in one of the wars.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. Do you think maybe that we could borrow some?
Sorry, Miss Emily.
I will agree that probably is not the time to be asking that.
Emily,
Oh,
you probably need winder. Hasn't been used since the last time we had a party.
that was before Papa died. Remember when all the Buckingham cousins dropped in? Papa hadn't seen him in years. Oh, we played hymns and sang, and afterwards everyone started drinking the recipe and hugging and crying. Oh, mercy. That was a day to remember.
Mr. Enrico Caruso.
The nice thing about life is you never know when there's going to be a party.
Wouldn't have been if our Christmas travelers hadn't taken it in mind to stop by.
Sit still, everybody. No catastrophe.
Oh, ladies, never mind that. What a Christmas, praise the Lord. You know, I remember so well your papa and my papa singing together.
Oh, how I wish I could have been there when they sang Throw Out the Lifeline.
Oh, well, then follow me. Throw out the lifeline, throw out the lifeline. Someone is drifting away. Throw out the lifeline, throw out the lifeline. Someone is drifting away. Throw out the lifeline across the dark way. There is a brother whom someone should save. Somebody's brother who then would dare throw out the lifeline, the world of fear. Throw out the lifeline, throw out the lifeline. Someone is drifting
I just love John Boy the whole time they were singing that song.
Miss Mamie, we got to have some gas.
Gas.
That's a hell of a time to ask, but alright.
Sister, where do we keep the gas?
In the car, sister. But I'm afraid there isn't any. What you need it for?
Well, I was out looking for my daddy in Charlie Sneed's car, and I ran out.
Why'd you say so in the first place? Come on.
Throw out the lifeline, throw out the lifeline. Someone is drifting away.
on a tree in the way.
Can't we get into the woods and go around it?
We can try, can't we, Hawthorne?
No, if you're bound in the drift, I'm afraid you're gonna have to turn around.
Well, I got to go on from here on foot, then.
Oh, it's 30 miles to Charlottesville, boy.
It'll take you a week to get there.
John, boy, you must let us take you home.
I have got to find my daddy.
You don't know where he is, and if anything happens to him, you're gonna be needed at home. So let's go. Come on. Come on, let's go. That's it.
That is the truth. This will be the final commercial break transition that they do, because with TV movies they will sometimes have the fade of black, so that's to be expected. So this is the final transition. After this, we're going to the end of the movie. Y'all ready?
You hear something?
Sure did.
What is that?
We'll just see about that. Let go of me! Maybe he won't be many presents. Don't worry, he won't see me. Now turn me loose. We're supposed to be asleep. Don't worry, honey, he'll never know. We should watch him downstairs. Come on, I just want to see us go.
Who is it, Lydia? Can't make out, Grandma.
Mama, it's Santa Claus.
What are you children doing out of bed? It's not Santa Claus. Whoever it is let somebody out. Is that John? Looks more like John Boy.
Is my daddy with them?
No. He's all alone. Why don't you children go back to bed?
You said if we rested a while, we could see the miracle.
Honey, there's not gonna be any miracle.
Just the same, I'd like to see for myself.
Is Daddy home?
Not yet.
Hmm.
Who was that let you off down at the gate?
Well, it was Miss Mamie and Miss Emily Baldwin. They give me a ride home in their pappy sleigh.
We thought it was Santa Claus.
What am I gonna do with you, boy? I send you looking for your daddy, and you end up joyriding with two old lady bootleggers.
Making assumptions, don't you think?
Some joyriding, Mama. Well, they took me to look for Daddy. We got right far, but there's a tree down in the road stopped us dead.
What's that you got in your hand?
Oh, it's a present, Mama, for Miss Mamie and Miss Emily.
Bootleg whiskey. Don't those crazy old women know I don't allow whiskey in this house? I've got young children in this house. What sort of example do they think we set here? You take it out yonder and pour it on the ground.
Again, making assumptions.
It's not whiskey, Mama, it's eggnog.
Mm-hmm.
I would be ashamed of myself.
Well, it'll be midnight before you know it. I'll be getting to the church now.
Old man, you stay in this house. You're too old to be prancing around the cold.
Old woman, you're not the boss of me. I got to ring in Christmas.
Papa, it's awful slippery outside. Nobody will expect you to ring the church bells tonight.
Well, the Methodists will be ringing in Christmas, and so will the Episcopals. Well, the Baptist bell is going to be ringing right along with them.
Well, do you want one of my children to go along with you?
I'll be all right, daughter. Well, ladies and gentlemen, since you'll be asleep when I come home, I bid you Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, you old fool.
I thought we were going to the stable.
All right.
Will you go with us, John Boy, to see the miracle in the barn?
Yeah, sure, honey, I'll go. Anybody else? Grandma?
No, I'm going to bed. I'm too tired to keep my eyes open. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
The last appearance of Ellen Corby in the movie.
I bet you, Mom.
First miracle I want to see tonight is your daddy walking through that door.
Tell us the story again, John Boy.
When Jesus was born, it's in the stable. And the first things to lay eyes on him, except for his mom and his papa, the first things to lay eyes on him was the sheep and the goats and cows and all the other animals that lived there.
Oh, dumb animals.
All dumb animals. They were the first ever to see Jesus' face. And ever since that night, animals all over the world wait up. And at the stroke of midnight, they kneel down and they pray and speak in human voices.
I wonder what they say.
Ooh, what was that?
Oh, Lizzie, look who's home.
Hmm? Hmm.
You want some coffee? I've been keeping it warm.
I'll help you, Mama. Don't cry, Mama. He's home.
That's why she's crying. Because she's been worried sick about him the whole day.
Where have you been?
Oh, what a woman I married. I picked a peach when I came a courting you, girl. Oh.
Oh, let me down, you crazy thing. I set a good example of these children. You go acting like a crazy man. Put me down. Oh. Where in the world were you, John?
Well, the last bus out of town ran into an accident.
Oh, I heard. I just knew you were on it.
Well, no, I wasn't on it, but I was stuck over there. Well, thank you, John Boy. I didn't see any point to spending Christmas in a bus station, so I started hitchhiking. I must have spent half the day out there on that road with my thumb up in the air. Got as far as Hickory Creek before dark, and from then on I was every step along the way by foot.
What's in that sack, Daddy?
Well, now, doggone if I know, Ben. Why don't we just dump it out and have a look?
Yeah, let's do that. Look at all the presents!
Where did they come from?
Well, you see, I was walking across the yard. I didn't want to make any noise because I figured that you kids would all be asleep, you see. All of a sudden, I saw something fly straight across the sky, landed right on top of this house.
We heard it.
You did? Well, I waited a second, then I saw this team of some kind of animals. Looked like about the size of a year-old calf, you know? Had little pointy things coming up at the top of the head.
Reindeer.
I think so, Ben, I think so now I never seen a reindeer. I don't know for sure, but I think that's what it must have been. And I looked, and then this little old man got out. Little old man dressed in black boots and a red coat and some kind of white fur all around here.
Santa Claus.
Sure it was, but I'd never seen that old son of a gun before, Elizabeth. I didn't know who it was. I thought it might be somebody trying to break into the house. I looked around and I got me the biggest rock I could find.
You know the rock?
No, I didn't hit him, but I scared him. I scared him so much that that sleigh slipped right off the roof of the house and landed down in the yard. You should have seen that old man. I cracked that whip and told them reindeer men and reindeer to take off. But I was able to grab a hold before he left the ground.
You talked to him?
No, I didn't talk to him, but I wrestled him, and I got a whole big armload of that stuff in that sleigh before he got away. There it is.
Huh. That's a hell of a story.
I think this one's for you. Here's
Let's see.
Good girl.
Oh, this is yours.
Let's see. What did they get?
Everything's so pretty.
So Jason had a, looked like he had a, well, what was it again? Looked like he had a harmonica. Yeah, so Jason got a harmonica. And Ben got the train set he wanted. You can kind of see that. Elizabeth got a doll.
Everything's so pretty.
And it does look very cute, very pretty. Jim Bob got his teddy bear. Aaron and Mary Ellen got a looks like a dress for each of them.
Hey, Ben, did you bring that one over? I think this must be for you.
What in the world?
You've been wishing for springtime.
Oh, those are some.
In the dead of winter.
Those are very pretty flowers.
There's two left over.
Those are for Grandma and Grandpa. Does someone show music?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I wonder how word got all the way to the North Pole. You wanted to be a writer.
Well, I guess he must be a right smart man.
I don't know a thing about the writing trade, son. But if you want to take it up, you got to give it your best.
Yes, sir, Daddy.
John is absolutely right in that regard.
I see some sleepy children. Off to bed now. You can play in the morning.
Yeah, sure.
Don't say goodnight yet. Wait until we're all in bed and the last light goes out.
Okay, get along, kids.
Thanks, Dad.
Hmm.
You all right, sweetheart?
I am.
Well, you won't be having another day like this one. I'm not going back.
You quit your job.
I think hard times are almost over. I think the country's going to get better. Until it does get better, I'll make a living here on Walton's Mountain.
In the dead of winter. With everything covered with snow.
There's timber for lumber and railroad ties, firewood.
Hmm.
The the spring, I'll plow and plant. Come fall, I'll harvest what I can. Get along.
You must spend every cent of your paycheck.
Just about. John,
What are we going to live on this coming week?
Love.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas is a season when we give tokens of love. In that house, we receive not tokens, but love itself. I became the writer I promised my father I'd be, and my destiny led me far from Walton's Mountain. My mother lives there still, alone now, for we lost my father in 1969. My brothers and sisters, grown with children of their own, live not far away. We are still a close family and see each other when we can. And like Miss Mamie Baldwin's fourth cousins, we're apt to sample the recipe and then gather around the piano and hug each other while we sing the old songs. For no matter the time or distance, we are united in the memory of that Christmas Eve. More than 30 years and 3,000 miles away, I can still hear those sweet voices.
Good night, John boy.
Good night, Liz. Good night, Daddy. Good night, son. Good night, Mariella.
Good night, Daddy. Good night, Mama.
Good night, Mary Ellen. Good night, Jim Bob.
Good night, Mama. Good night, Aaron. Good night, Jim Bob. Good night, Ben.
Good night, Aaron. Good night, everybody.
They don't say anything about Jason though, but okay. Special guest star Andrew Duggan as John Walton. And that was The Homecoming. I have always loved watching this movie. Every time. Every Christmas every Christmas season, I'm always watching this. No matter how many times I watch it during the Christmas season. It's still to this day one of my favorite Christmas movies from that time period of 1972, I think it came out. Oh, excuse me. So, yeah, I very much do enjoy watching. I do very much enjoy watching this movie. It's a really good movie, I'd say. It's a very good movie. Um, yeah. So today is Christmas Eve. So I don't know what time I will be home to do these to watch some Christmas specials. I will say some of these will probably be the ones that I haven't watched that may take place on Christmas Eve. So that would be The Stingiest Man in Town, A Christmas Carol, Twas the Night Before Christmas, and maybe one other movie or special to work with them. But either way, yeah. So, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this watch along with me, as well as the one from yesterday. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, this is Forrest Walpole, signing off.